Hello! Would you like to have index-like finger tracking for your Quest controllers? Well, this nifty add-on from DiverX called Contact Sheet promises to do just that. Before we get to see it in action, let's first take a look at what you get when you purchase this product. The actual device is pretty much the same for every Quest version. However, what differs for each Quest version is the included strap. Each purchase contains a set of third-party straps, and here you can see which one you will receive depending on which Quest you own. I won't dedicate much time to the specific strap. All I really have to say is that it's a nice high quality strap that feels good to use. Inside the Contact Sheets package resides the actual device, a USB dongle, which it uses to remotely connect to your PC, some charging cables, and double-sided tape required for installation. Also 2 cleaning wipes to make sure the tape actually sticks. Note that the box contains no installation guide. This is only found online. Alright, let's get right into installing. First, we install the third-party hand strap. After that, we move on to the hard part. Before we can install the contact sheet, we need to place 3 double-sided tape blobs. Peel them off from the sheet and place them in the locations as described in the online manual. This can be a little awkward, but there is no real need to be super precise, just make sure they are not sticking out. After you've placed them, don't forget to remove the white tops. Now, before we place it on the controller itself, let's use the included wipes to clean the surface to ensure a good stick. Surely you've been cleaning your Quest controller, right? Alright, now we can place it on the actual controller. Now, for this installation, I'm not a huge fan, honestly. The contact sheet is a pretty tight fit, and the double-sided tape will immediately begin to stick. Getting it into the correct position, it's not particularly easy, especially considering the double-sided tape is stuck directly onto the fragile sensors inside the device, forcing you to be very gentle in the process. Additionally, there is no real correct position to place the device. The instructions online do not show it clearly, and I find that the position you want to use depends on your own hand shape. For me, I had to fiddle around a little bit to find something comfortable. It is also quite easy to stick it in a bad position and then not really be able to move it properly because, well, it's already stuck. You only receive a single extra set of tape. If you need more, you will need to order it separately. Additionally, this means that once attached, you really shouldn't remove the device. Repeated removals will no doubt cause damage, and the tape will lose its ability to stick, meaning that once it's on, even if your current game has no use for it. As to how well this tape will hold up in the long run, I cannot say myself. But I have heard mentions that it will eventually start to get a little loose. Now that it's on, what does it feel like? Well, it adds a little bit of weight, but not too much. However, I do find that the room for your fingers is already quite limited, even for my not all too large hands. I have no doubt that someone with large hands could have some trouble with this, so keep that in mind. Okay, now let's take a look at the software. All you need is Diving Station. It supports Steam Link, Virtual Desktop, and Quest/Airlink. I believe it's possible to use it for Quest standalone, using some kind of OSC setup, but you would still need a PC to run the OSC and the actual software. After following the instructions from the software, which includes plugging in the USB dongle, the contact sheets are ready for use. But wait, according to the instructions, I should need to pair them first. The light should be green if paired and on, or blinking red when it still needs to pair. But my LED is blue? Well, this isn't mentioned anywhere, and when I picked them up they just seem to work. Were these perhaps paired before shipping? And why is the LED a color that's not indicated on the instructions? I think this is a good moment to complain just a little bit about the included documentation. It's not that great. The installation instructions are not clear and skip some steps, and clearly some of it is missing information or outdated. Even more noticeable is that a lot of the software seems to be written for specifically their finger tracking gloves, not the contact sheet, which did cause quite a bit of confusion when trying the OSC setup. No doubt this can still be fixed, but it does leave a negative impression. After you've paired them, then it's time for calibration. And the calibration itself is actually quite easy. You just click start and then follow the instructions on the screen. You hold your hands open, and then once prompted, you hold your controller like you usually would, but with your thumb wrapped around, touching your middle finger. And that's it. We can go in game. Now, when using Diving Station, SteamVR will actually be tricked into thinking you have index controllers. This can cause a small issue when you are using the setting in Virtual Desktop that also mimics index controllers, so be sure to turn that off in case you are using this. Now, once you load in, you will notice you have finger tracking. Ever since VRChat added the SteamVR skeletal hand tracking, the Diving Station software makes use of it. This pretty much means you do not need to bother at all with their OSC setup. It does require you to modify your avatars, it will increase the network load because you are using OSC, and the amount of parameters required is actually pretty big. It does also have a light version which uses less parameters, but that also has less accurate tracking. Now, ever since the SteamVR skeletal update, I don't really think there is much need for the OSC setup if you're just using the contact sheet. Speaking of OSC, the Diving Station software doesn't actually allow you to change which ports it uses for OSC, so if you're using different OSC applications, it can be a bit troublesome to get them to work together without special software. Now it's time to compare it to an actual index. As you can see, we can mimic anything the index user can do. However, one thing I should note is about the thumb specifically. Holding your thumb along the side of the controller is not really something the Quest controller was designed for. Doing this feels a little bit awkward. Not really something the contact sheet can do anything about, but it's something to keep in mind. On a final note, the battery time seems to last me around 5 to 6 hours or so at full charge. The included charging cables are really short, but it is just a standard USB-C port, so you can use your own. Alright, let's conclude this review. Would I recommend the contact sheet? Well, in case you already have base stations or you consider getting them in the future for stuff like full body, I would personally just get an index controller instead. In case you don't have base stations and would really like to have index equivalent finger tracking, then the contact sheet is worth considering. It does what it promises to do, but with its pretty high price, lackluster installation method, and lacking documentation, the quality does not really feel like it matches the price in my opinion. It very much feels like a DIY mod and not a $140 product. Considering that the images on the website differ a bit from the actual product you get, and the fact my LEDs didn't even match the documentation, it seems to me this product is still being developed. These issues may improve in the future, only time will tell. If you are not tight on money, go for it. Otherwise, I would reconsider. I hope this video gave you some more information on the contact sheet and allows you to choose if you want to purchase it for yourself or not. If you made it this far, I thank you for watching and I hope to see you next time.